What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the 541 Fisherman YouTube channel. Obviously, as you guys saw by the title of today's video, we are going to be curing some salmon eggs for salmon fishing, okay? Now, yesterday, Josh and I and a couple other friends went out salmon fishing, and Josh caught a super nice hen spring Chinook. So, that is what we have today in our little batch of eggs here, and we are going to be curing them up. Now, the cure I'm going to be using today, I'm going to spring Chinook fish with it, but I'm using a certain type of cures that work extremely well for fall Chinook fishing. Now, if you guys do want to watch that video, you guys can go. It'll be in the description. You know, it was a pretty decent fish. It actually cut pretty good, so I'm going to be able to smoke that up nicely. Use the carcass for some crabbing videos. So if you guys would leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you want, turn on a little notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. But let's go ahead, we'll roll into this, and we'll teach you guys how to cure some salmon eggs. Now, there's going to be a couple things that you need to cure salmon eggs, okay? And there obviously could be more, or like, I don't really know if you could use less. I mean, you could essentially use less, but I do it very simple. I don't really see any reason to make it complicated. First thing you're going to obviously want to start off with is having your eggs. Now, when you catch a fish and you're going to, there's a hair in there. When you catch a fish and you're like, man, that's a hen, I really want to cure the eggs, you want to bleed the fish right away. We did a really amazing job of bleeding this fish, so there's hardly any blood in these eggs, which is what I like to see. Next is you're going to need your cures. Now, today I'm using Alaska Nitro. It's a hot cure, and by hot I mean it has more sodium sulfite in it than other cures. Next is you're going to want to use, well, you don't have to use, but I'm going to be using this Last Supper by ProCure. This is a coastal fishery cure, so I don't know. I guess it has different scents in it is what I'm assuming. But I'm going to be mixing both of these together. This makes a darker bait, and this makes more of like an orange fluorescent. So I think the two colors together will make a kind of more of a brighter colored bait. You're going to need a butter knife. Okay, you'll see why. It's kind of a genius thing. I think I actually learned this from a YouTube video. Not sure. Then you're going to need some paper towels. Now, I have made a video of me curing eggs before, and a lot of you guys ripped on me in the comments for using a lot of paper towels. So I actually found a new little life hack here, okay? I'm going to be using a Little Caesars box. Now, you guys were like, use cardboard, use paper, like newspaper. I don't read the newspaper, bro. That's literally what I have a phone for. Like, if I want to see news, I just go freaking, like, look the news up on my phone. But what's cool, right, is when I'm done, I can open up my pizza box, and like everything that I use, like all my garbage, I can just throw in my pizza box and throw it away. So, kind of kills two birds with one stone. I don't use a lot of paper towels. If I get the top of this box dirty, oh well, it's going to go right in the garbage. So, let's go ahead and jump into curing these eggs. Okay, so you guys aren't going to be able to see my face for this, but you don't have to see my face. By the way, if you want to buy steelhead gear, it's what I wear, it's what I like to use. It's kind of like, it's not my merch, but it's like what I like to kind of say is my merch. You guys can use my code 541STLHD, saves you 15%. Link is in the very top of the description. Okay, now, just a disclaimer here, I'm not using gloves. You don't have to use gloves. It's just my I don't care. I don't think it really matters, okay? So we're going to take our 2 skeins of eggs here. Also, one more thing that you guys are going to need, and I didn't mention this, is you guys are going to need something to put your eggs in when you're done. Now, I'm not going to use this container because I had raw eggs in it, but I'm going to use one of these little containers here. Okay, it's the exact same thing, except I have a lid for it. Okay, you could use like Ziploc bags. You could use like a quart glass jar or whatever. But these things are super good. You get 25 of them for $12. They're just little food containers. I think they work really well, so that's what I'm going to be putting my eggs in when I'm done. And obviously this one, I mean, you could wash it out, but I don't really care enough to do that, so I'm just going to throw it away. Okay, so you need to get a piece of paper towel here. I just used one. I'm actually going to use this to put my garbage in. Okay, so when you have your eggs here, okay, you can see there, the camera's picking that up. You see those little, like, the little blood veins in there, okay? Those red things there? So, what you're going to want to do is take your Yale butter knife here, okay? And, like, this egg, I'll show you. I'm actually okay with this one. You guys can see there, there's hardly any blood in that one, so that means that Josh did a really good job at bleeding this fish out. See if I can focus this up a little bit. Okay, so when you have your veins there, your blood, what you're going to do is you're just going to lay it down here, okay? And you're going to use your butter knife, and you can see, like, this edge here, well, the bottom edge is like the serrated part. Okay, the top edge is the smooth side. And I really wish I could focus on that. I don't know if it'll focus. But what you're going to do is you're going to use the back side of the knife, okay? You're going to push it on that vein really gently, and you're just going to walk, not going to walk. You're going to work the blood, okay? You can go, like, upwards, up the egg, towards, like, the open side of the membrane, okay? Pushing the blood up those veins, and you're just going to push the blood out the egg, okay? And on the end of this vein here, it's open. So as long as I push this up into the top, the main vein on top, and I work it down, 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 you know, all the way down here, right? It'll just start coming out into the back of the eggs, okay? And that's why you have your paper towel, okay? The blood is coming out, and you guys can't really see this, but you just got to kind of trust me here. Okay, the blood came out onto the eggs. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel and you're just going to kind of wipe all that blood out that you squeezed out. And there really wasn't a lot there. You guys can see there's just a little bit there. But as you walked it all down and you worked it out, okay, now you just soak it up with the paper towel. There's really not a lot on there. There really wasn't a lot in this egg. But yeah, sometimes, like, if you don't bleed your fish out all the way, there'll be a lot, and you'll like use a couple paper towels to do it. Okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to take your eggs, okay? So you have your little, it's hard to see, but you have your membrane, okay? And then you have the open side of the egg. And I don't know how well you guys can see that or not, but this is the open side, this is the membrane side, okay? You're going to lay the membrane side down. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your butter knife and you're going to butterfly these open. Now I've seen where people use scissors, you know, sharper knives and everything like that, but I found that butter knives work really well because this little serrate on the edge is perfect for cutting through the little membranes in the eggs, but it's not strong enough to cut through this membrane in the back, so you never completely separate your eggs. Okay, so you're just going to take the little, you know, the sharp side, and you're just going to start running it down the eggs, down the top of the egg, okay? And what's going to happen is the egg, as you guys can see, it's already starting to fold open, okay? It's getting a lot bigger, and you're going to just, you know, split the middle here and just go really slow and just really gentle and just go flat across, okay? Now as you guys see, okay, we have a butterflied skein of eggs, okay? This is the membrane side, this is the open side. Now we're going to lay that face down there. We're going to repeat the process on this second skein of eggs. You guys can see this one, look how skinny it is, right? That's the back. That's the front, okay? I'm going to just lay it down on the back. Kind of hold. I have to hold this one because this is like a taller piece. And I'm going to run my knife right down the middle. Just be really soft with it. And I'm just going to kind of butterfly it open. Okay, and sometimes, like, you have to work across the egg. So, like, I'm towards, like, the top of it now. You know, there's little spots where you can see, like, there's high spots in it. You just kind of want to, you know, just sit there, go really gentle, and just kind of cut it apart here. Okay? So, there you have it. That and that one. No, I didn't go through. It looks like I went through, but that's like the skein you can see. I went all the way down to it, right? And it never went all the way through it because the egg, or the knife, I mean, is so dull that I can't go through it, okay? We're going to lay that one, you know, egg side down, just like I did with the last one. Now what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to take your cure, okay? I'm going to do, I think I'm actually going to go with this one because this is the lighter color. So I'm going to do this as my base coat, and then I'll do the darker one as my top coat. Okay, now on these you have two sides. You have a bulk side, and you have a sprinkle side. Always open the sprinkle side because if you don't, you'll screw yourself, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're just going to sprinkle a light coating over it. And you just, you know, like, be kind of generous. Like, I don't know. People always like, oh, you burn your eggs. I don't think I've actually ever burnt eggs. Like, I don't know. I've never had a problem with it, okay? You guys can see there. Let me try to, I'll try to flip this up. So, I have a basic light coat sprinkled over the top of those eggs, okay? And I'm going to take my Alaska Nitro here, open that up, and we're just going to do a nice little coat here. And this stuff is, like, kind of chunky because I don't know why. So you might have to, like, take some of these bigger chunks like this and just kind of break them up and just kind of sprinkle them on there. You know, it's not really a big deal. Okay. So now we have both of our cures on. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to kind of want to just massage this into, like, break the little pieces up, and you're going to want to just massage it into the skein of the egg. Okay? And it's going to, and right now it's just absorbing that cure into the skein enough, and this, I found, makes your skeins firmer, so your baits will end up lasting a little bit longer. By the way, guys, if you buy this Alaska Nitro cure, it takes a while to start showing its color. So if you, like, use it and you're like, oh no, it's not showing the color, you'll see. I'll update you guys as I do this video, and I'll show you. Okay, so I have both of my eggs here. You guys can't really see because I used that lighter color for the base. Okay, so I'm now going to flip both my eggs completely over. So I now have the egg side up. I'm going to use this little piece of paper towel here. Wipe my fingers off just a little bit because I don't want to be getting everything all cured up. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to use the Last Supper cure, but I'm going to do less on this side. Just sprinkle it, you know, lightly on there because I want it to be darker. But I want this scent in there, right? I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit on there. Okay? Just doing a little bit here, not a lot. And now we're going to go a little heavier with the Alaska Nitro. We're just going to sprinkle that generously on. You know, just a coat, and you can always add more, but you can never take it off. I mean, you could take it off by hand, but, you know. Then find your little, you know, thick chunks here, so you don't have big chunks of cure in it. Just kind of break it apart and sprinkle it in there, okay? Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just massage the eggs. So, because you want to get cure on every single one of those eggs, right? So you just kind of massage it, massage it, massage it. And what I was saying earlier about, like, people wearing gloves, is you can wear gloves and it, like, you know, it won't get any of your human scent on there. Now, I've never had a problem with it. This is how I've always done it. I don't know if in my last video if I used gloves or not. I don't remember if I did. But I've never noticed, like, a big significant difference where I'm like, man, you know, I caught way more fish when I used gloves or when I didn't use gloves. I don't think I've really ever noticed a difference. Okay, so we're massaging this in, and I mean, it's starting to look pretty good here. I'm breaking down most of those big chunks of cure, and we're just kind of massaging it in. I'm going to add just a little bit more of this red on there, the Alaska Nitro. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more of that on there. Perfect. That is looking absolutely beautiful. And this fish, surprisingly for how dark it was, its eggs really weren't matured yet, but that just kind of shows you guys that, you know, those fish don't spawn, you know, till later, till like almost sometimes October, like late September, October, where we were fishing. So like this fish had really small eggs for, you know, how colored up she was, but she cut actually really nice. I'm gonna be able to make some really nice smoked salmon out of it. Okay, so that is all worked in there. We're gonna take a piece of paper towel here, break it off, wipe our fingers off a little bit. Okay, and let's show you guys here. Voila. We have our decently cured up eggs. So now what we're going to want to do is close our cures here. Okay. You're going to take your little container, your gallon bag, whatever you want to use, and you're going to just lay the eggs down into the container. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to flip these over here just really quick, and I'm actually going to add a little bit more of this Alaska Nitro to the back of these eggs because they're kind of soft and kind of liquidy for my liking. So I want to try to firm those up a little bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit more cure, and I'm going to just kind of be gentle when I'm rubbing it on to it here because I want it to really be coated on there, but I don't want it to be too powdery, because then it'll give you that, you know, crystallizing effect when it's curing. So we're just going to be really, really gentle with it here. Okay, now what you're going to want to do, you're going to take your eggs here, and you're just going to lay them down into your container. Okay, I just laid them in on top of each other. I don't really think it makes a big deal, big difference or whatever. Not really a problem for me. Alright, so now that we're done curing our eggs, we can take our garbage here. We didn't use very much garbage this time, as you guys see. So you guys can't rip on me for that, okay? We're going to throw it in the pizza box and close the pizza box. And now we have all of our garbage wrapped up. Okay, so what you guys are going to want to do now is take your eggs here that are in their little container. You're going to want to open up the fridge, okay? You're going to want to take your little drawer guy here. And you're going to take these, and you're just going to put them in the fridge. Okay, so now you do it for, it's like, I like to cure mine for like 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours. And obviously they cure longer, because I mean they stay in the cure. It's not like the cure just goes away. So for the next 2 hours, for every 15 minutes for 2 hours, okay? So what is that? I don't know. It's like 4 times an hour. So you're going to rotate them 8 times, okay? You're going to take your little container. You're just going to mix it up. And I'll show you guys here in 15 minutes. I'll pick you back up and I'll show you. So you're going to do it 4 times, or 8 times. Okay, in 2 hours you're going to mix it up. And that, like, because they juice out. All the juices start to come out of the eggs and go into the container. And you're like mixing it up and mixing it back into itself, okay? And then once you're done, you're going to throw them into the freezer after about 8 hours. Because that Last Supper cure, it actually works by freezing, which is kind of weird. But that's how that stuff works. So you got to put it in the freezer, let them freeze, and then you can take them back out. So if you plan on fishing tomorrow, like, you could just use them how they are. I've actually never tried it. But I've just always put them in the freezer, and they turned out really well. So we'll pick you guys back up here in 15 minutes. Okay. So here's the deal, okay? I just got a phone call, and I'm going fishing. So, never tried this before. Probably not going to work, but here, let's set these down real quick here and show you guys what we got here. They look pretty freaking sick, not going to lie. God, I'm horrible at showing my face on here. Goodness. By the way, guys, I got a haircut. Yeah, you guys saw I was getting a really... You piece of crap, dude, get off there. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That right there, boys. Look how saucy those freaking look. So, we're literally just going to try to fish with them just how they are. My camera's going to die. It's flashing at me. So, I'm throwing the lid on here, and I'm going fishing. I'm going to go try to catch a fish with these eggs that I literally just cured. So, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a thumbs up, hit that little notification bell, because I'm sure I'm going to freaking make a video about this. So, tune back in, and we'll see you guys face on the next fishing adventure. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay fishing, and see you guys' faces when I see you. Peace.